Hello, America. It's me, Willie J. Mitchell, aka Pablo Crenshaw, professional sports entertainer with the WCW, NWA, and the WWE, professional wrestler. I'm also a professional businessman, professional CDL owner operator. I had a package store with a liquor license. But my proudest accomplishment was being a hands-on caregiver for my two sons. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. Because my two sons' future was raped, molested, and retarded by a judicial system that is corrupt and racist and actually are guilty of aggravated sexual assault against children of color. These are my two sons. This is Junior, this is Joshua. And this is us at the Red Lobster. That's my sister right here, supposedly, and her daughter, Robin, R-O-B-Y-N, C. Mitchell, for Charlene, and Renata Caitlin Mitchell. When that picture was taken, I was physically disabled. I was living with my sister while she built her career at Bank of America as a compliance builder. Her daughter wasn't even in preschool. I cooked, I cleaned, I fetched, chauffeured, bodyguard, doctor appointments, everything, while my sister, Robin, was in other states, even sometimes outside of the country with Bank of America. This podcast is called The Racist, Child Molesting, Injustice in Fulton County, Georgia. This podcast is also being made to raise money for an attorney, a civil rights attorney out of the West, because the lawyers in the South wouldn't touch this case with a 10-foot pole because of the backlash, because it involves 4 judges who are the most disgusting criminals of all time. And here's their pictures. Myra Dixon, Howard University. She allowed him to take my child out the courtroom and threaten him after he witnessed me being sexually assaulted and sodomized by 2 Roswell police officers. Craig Swall. Once they did that to me and took me to the Roswell jail naked, this white woman that put me on the floor, butt naked, with my hands cuffed behind me for 6 hours, and it was N-word this, N-word that, until one of them said, if the N-word die, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Then I woke up in the hospital with my hand cuffed to the bed and my foot cuffed to the bed with a dirty Roswell Peckerwood cop sitting there named Sanders. I said, I need to call my sister. I need to call my attorney. You can't make no phone call. Yeah, that's what he told me. My insurance company paid $70,000 to save my life, because after I was assaulted by Aaron B. Johnson, James Spivey, I got home, I got sick, and that's when I called my doctor. He said call 911. After I did that, the Roswell police intercepted the call, broke it, kicked my door in. The bath towel I had on, robe, fell off. I'm butt black behind naked. And now I got a gun to the back of my head with my hands up against the wall. And Ian B. Johnson is in between me and the wall, excuse me, performing oral sex on me. And the white boy, this fool got Brokeback Mountain fever, cause the trailer park slut got jungle fever on steroids, performing oral sex on me. The neighbor's dog's barking. Then he goes up in my behind talking about a cavity search. Now you got to remember, they ain't got a search warrant or nothing. What they got is revenge for me filing a complaint against a maggot, pie-eating, racist cop named Jason Westcott of the Roswell Police, who assaulted me while I was unconscious, suffering from trauma to the brain. I wake up to this Georgia redneck beating me upside my head with his fist. Made me sign something to get a sample of my blood. The doctor didn't know a thing about it. He never had permission to come in there, and they couldn't use the blood in court because it had been compromised from internal injuries, lacerations, over 90% of my internal organs. I went to the police department, filed a complaint against the Peckerwood. He tried to kill me. He's a coward. I also went to the police station with my sister, daughter, and my son after the reason Jason Westcott was in the hospital was because of this car accident right here. See that? See that car? A white man ran a red light. That's my baby right there. He was sitting right there. Officer Garcia of the Roswell Police got in that car, and he rescued my child. I had him south flighted, and he alive today because of a good police officer named Officer Garcia. My sister child was in the car. My sister was in Las Vegas. 2 weeks earlier, she couldn't take my stepson, foster child, because I had completed adoption and foster parenting here in Mobile. I took him to him on my 50th birthday. Come home, I go to get something to eat, get stopped by the police, and get my shoulder separated by a dirty cop out of Alpharetta. I accused Jason Westcott of having something to do with them not taking me to North Fulton Regional around the corner, but to Grady Hospital where they take the prisoners from Fulton County Jail. They chained me to the floor for over 8 hours. They refused to let me pay for an independent test. They never read me my rights. But after this woman right here, look at her. That's her. That's Aaron B. Johnson of the Roswell Police holding that little white baby. This slut sucked my penis in front of my son. And then when the white boy stuck something up my butthole, I screamed in pain. That's when they found out they were being watched by my son. They found out that they were being watched by my son. He screamed at him and stopped hurting my dad. They said, sit the F down, which I told him to do it. I'm sick as hell. Now she fixing to take me outside naked. Now, let me remind you something. The children and their parents were black and Latino. I said, please don't take me out there like this. The white boy got a pair of blue shorts from my son. The penis sucking slut, Aaron B. Johnson, sucked my penis, got me butt naked. I'ma take him outside naked. That way I can get him for indecent exposure. The heavy hand of the law. I said, please don't do that to them little children. Those little black girls and boys and the little Latino children don't need to see that. She said they ain't nothing but animals anyway. And she took me outside naked. She let them look at my penis, my nuts, and that wasn't good enough for her. She put me across the back of the car, spread my legs, and let them look up the Grand Canyon, my butthole. She handcuffed my hands behind me, put me in the car, and by her white punk behind self, with jungle fever, drove me to that jail naked in Roswell. The rest of them police was waiting. They had their phone cameras, everything. You'd have thought this slut had knocked out Mike Tyson in the first round. They took me into jail, put me on the floor, face down, hands cuffed behind me, and tortured me. That's prisoner abuse. And Jason Westcott was behind it, and Sanders, because I filed that complaint against Westcott. We talking what he did to me in 2006, not been balled over to 2009. I ain't been to court for the 2000 August 27 arrest. I ain't been to court for the car accident of September the 15th, 2006. So Jason Westcott did an affidavit. Here it is right here. See that? Jason Westcott said he never had any personal or physical contact with me until at North Fulton Regional Hospital on September the 15th. But he goes into court and lie that he was at Grady Hospital 2 weeks earlier. Here it is, right here. I got the court report. He lied. He committed perjury. And a black woman judge named Jamie Mack, that nasty slut, watched the dash cam with me and a court-appointed attorney named Dennis Murphy, who I fired, but the judge, this one right here, this slut, this black robe wearing slut right there, Susan Edline, refused to let me change lawyers, and she refused to let me represent myself. What's legal about that? And see here, this is where I filed to get Dennis Murphy off of my case in the court. But because the white woman took me to jail naked, they took me to a hospital, North Fulton Regional, 6 hours later. And now I'm foot cuffed and handcuffed to the bed for a day and a half. I'm back in the jail in general population. I spent half a day, all night. The next half a day, I'm sick again. Now I'm back in the hospital, foot and hand hooked, cuffed to the bed with a dirty cop, a white boy sitting there. I got the feeling good. I said to that white boy, this is the most racist thing I ever seen. He said, if we get our way, we're going to kill you and we're going to kill that N-word president too. That's when I said, oop, there it is. I screamed for the black nurse. I screamed for the doctor. They came running in. What's wrong, Mr. Mitchell? I said, he said they're going to kill me and the president. I've been there 4 days. They ain't booked me, charged me, or fingerprinted me or nothing. It's like I ain't never been there. He ran out. Sent in a Mexican police woman from Roswell. The doctor said, we ain't going to let them take you back, Mr. Mitchell. We promise. Ain't nobody going to hurt you, Mr. Mitchell. The Peckerwood ran his redneck behind out of there. He done messed up. He done blew their cover. So now they got to try to do damage control. They sent in the Mexican woman because the Mexican police officer saved my child's life. She gonna say, well, look, Mr. Mitchell, you can leave on your own recordings. All you gotta do is sign right here. I said, look, I'm waiting on the sheriff's department and the FBI. Y'all done made a terrorist threat against me and the president. And then she said something that made me change my mind. They only charging you with public intoxication. I said to myself, these assholes got me here for 4 days. They done did all of this, took me out my house naked in front of children. A white woman? Public intoxication. They stopped me in public where they assaulted me at Red Lobster off of Holcomb Bridge Road. Now how? I said to myself, N-word, you better get the hell on. If they gonna let you out, you need to go. Because they gonna protect this white woman. They gonna cover up for her nasty, penis-sucking, jungle fever on steroids, white trailer trash. And you got to stay alive because these children, mama dead. All your wife is dead. All they got is you. Now, I said, okay. Guess where they take me? To my sister's house. Robin Mitchell. And the next day, she didn't even take me to the hospital. This her right here. I done raised her daughter. But she want me to continue to raise her daughter instead of me going back to work, putting my kids in private school like her and Craig Swall. That nasty piece of crap. Next thing I know, she called a friend of mine and he took me to my doctor because I was supposed to follow up. Next thing I know, he sent me to Peach because he saw I was so mentally distraught and physically wiped out. I go to Northside Mental Health. They send me to Peachford 4 or 5 days. I get to the house. Before I can file a complaint against these maggot pie-eating dirty cops, they kick my door in again. Now they take me from Roswell to Sandy Spring, from Sandy Spring to Fulton County Jail, where they book me, fingerprint me. I still don't know what the hell they arrested me for. I see a white woman judge the next day, and she say, how you plead? I said, how do I plead to what? I don't even know why I'm here. She said, you made a terroristic threat. I said, your police made the terrorist threat. I was held for 4 days, never booked a charge. Well, you need to see the bail bondsman because we love the bail bondsman. I said, I bet you do. We need to track the money with these judges, the solicitors, and the district attorneys because they getting paid under the table somewhere. Follow the money. They gonna say, I said I was gonna kill Jason Westcott. And they said that I said I was gonna go Brian Nichols. See that? That's Brian Nichols. If I was Brian Nichols' family, I'd sue the state of Georgia. Brian Nichols was a victim of prisoner abuse. and he snapped. His mama told him, y'all need to get him a psychiatrist or take him to trial because he ain't used to being treated like an animal. They didn't do it. He ended up killing the judge, his secretary, shot a deputy, and killed a border patrolman. Gave himself up after he broke into a white woman's house. She gave him a bath and cooked him some waffles. I don't know what the hell happened. I know she got a book deal. But Brian Nichols wasn't no murderer when you arrested him. He was just an upset man with his baby mama. Y'all turned that man into a killer, and you tried to do it to me. But fortunately for me, I majored in psychology. This is me right here. University Year for Action Program, Texas A&I University, Kingsville, Texas. Y'all didn't get Brian Nichols a psychiatrist, but I got one. Because I wasn't going to be like Brian Nichols. And I never mentioned Jason Westcott. But some bitch got on the witness stand and committed perjury. Jamie Mack, that black solicitor, watched this dash cam video. That Judge Susan Aline showed Dennis Murphy and that woman before we went to trial, Jamie Mack. And you know how I know she showed it to him? Because I stood in the middle of them when she showed it on her laptop. Jamie Mack get the police on the witness stand and talk him into committing perjury. They call it perverting the course of justice and soliciting perjury. And that's what she did. She got him to say that they couldn't find it. I tell the white man, Dennis Murphy, we got him now because the judge got the dash cam video. She showed it to you. You know what that filthy police butt-licking Peckerwood told me? He said, you need to shut up. They're going to think you're an angry black man. I said, angry? I ain't no homosexual and y'all screwing me in my butt. And then they put Jason Westcott up there. He gonna talk about what happened at Grady, but I got the affidavit where he said he never met me until 2.5 weeks later. Don't worry about his testimony, it won't affect. The black nasty slut that needed a notch on her gun as a prosecutor used his statement in her closing argument. Please, America, I got a GoFundMe account. My confidant, my good friend who helped me spiritually, Brother Michael Woodard, is going to finish this up. He's going to let you know where y'all can send me the money. I need $20,000 to get me an attorney, a civil rights attorney. Please help me and help my children. They don't deserve to be treated like animals. These are not animals. These are human beings. These are American citizens. And just because the judges want to help this slut and her gay partner and Lieutenant Jason Westcott, I got you this time, Westcott, because September of 2020, you got on the witness stand in Cobb County and told that same filthy lie. Well, guess what? I got you this time, Peckerwood. I ain't laying in a bed unconscious, suffering from brain damage. I'm not laying in a bed helpless where you put your fists upside my head. You ain't got Paul Howard the district attorney, and that filthy lying white slut, Linda DeCoskey, the assistant district attorney, who put me in jail because I filed for Judge Craig Swall, who told me he wasn't going to get, I didn't deserve a trial. 5 years later, my child going backwards while his two little maggots are on a rocket ship, a space shuttle to success. I got you. I got you, Craig Swall. I got you, Linda DeCoskey. You black, nasty, filthy slut that let him take my child out that courtroom after he watched me get my penis sucked by this nasty white woman. And the white boy commit sodomy against me and they take me outside naked. You call yourself honorable, ain't nothing honorable about you. Myra Dixon and J.L. Mathis, you gutless white pile of filth. You maggot pie eating something bit. I got you. You're going to get this ball. Myra Dixon, you're going to get this ball. Craig Swall, you need to go to jail with your girlfriend Tex. I wonder how many white guys done passed him around. He probably don't miss you no more. Homosexual, child molesting racist. Susan Edline, let me tell you something. That dash cam video you showed, that nasty house nigger, Jamie Mack, who's jockeying for position, and Dennis Murphy, the man, the lawyer from Roswell, got his tongue so far up the police butt, his eyes are brown, they used to be blue. I had a copy of that dash cam video a year before you showed it. Before you showed it, I had it. The public defender's office lawyer, Scott Harrison, took me to the solicitor's office where I watched it and they gave me a copy of it. And I got about 15 to 20 copies of it. You are through. And then when I asked you to recuse yourself from my civil case, you wouldn't even let me, you wouldn't even get off the bench for that. And I subpoenaed the guy that jumped on me at that sports bar, that was working at the sports bar while I was in a wheelchair in the afternoon. It wasn't even 12 o'clock yet. And you wouldn't move yourself and you wouldn't let me bring that fool in front of that jury. You are one sick white slut. But guess what? All of y'all suffer from what they call pseudo geologia fantastica. What that means is that, I got a little story. My sister's an attorney, right? So she lost her, somebody stole her books at Howard University. That's Robin Mitchell right there. Look at her. That's her, proud as hell. Backstabber. I tell you what. I paid for her books after they got stolen. Yeah, I paid for them. But I found out that being a lawyer, the first thing they teach you is how to be a good storyteller. You raped, molested, and retarded my child life. And the thing is, you got so used to being a good storyteller till now you're not just a storyteller, you're a pathological liar.